Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. And today I have a story so twisted and shocking you won't believe it's real. It's about a principal who murdered her own husband with the help of her students. This is the Shantanu Deshmukh murder case. Grab your coffee, settle in, and let's dive into the details. Shantanu Deshmukh was a 40-year-old businessman and a devoted family man. He lived in a quiet town in Maharashtra with his wife, Sunita Deshmukh, who was the principal of a local high school. Outwardly, their lives seemed picture-perfect, successful careers, a nice home, and a close-knit community. But behind closed doors, things were far from perfect. Friends and family said the couple often fought. Sunita was reportedly controlling, and Shantanu felt trapped in a loveless marriage. Tensions kept rising until they reached a deadly breaking point. Here's where it gets truly chilling. Sunita didn't just want to leave Shantanu, she wanted him out of the picture for good. And she didn't want to get her hands dirty. So she came up with a shocking plan. She decided to involve her own students in the crime. Can you believe that? A principal, someone entrusted with guiding and protecting young minds, turning them into accomplices to murder. Reports say Sunita carefully picked 3 teenage boys from her school. These boys were from troubled backgrounds, and Sunita used her position of authority to manipulate them. She promised them money, gifts, and even better grades if they helped her. Under her spell, these students agreed to her deadly plan. It's heartbreaking to think about how easily they were manipulated. On the night of 20th May 2025, Shantanu was at home, relaxing in the living room. Sunita had convinced him to stay up late, saying she wanted to talk things over. But it was all a setup. At around 11 p.m., Sunita let the 3 students into the house. Armed with knives and wooden sticks, they ambushed Shantanu. He fought back, but it was 3 against 1. Sunita watched as her own husband was brutally murdered by the teenagers she had groomed. The scene was horrific. Neighbors heard screams and called the police. By the time officers arrived, Shantanu was dead. The boys were nowhere to be seen, and Sunita pretended to be a grieving widow. At first, police thought it might have been a home invasion or robbery. But there were no signs of forced entry. Suspicion quickly fell on Sunita, and soon the whole web of lies began to unravel. During questioning, Sunita kept up the act, crying, insisting she had no idea who the killers were. But the police weren't buying it. They found messages on her phone between her and the students, chilling instructions like, "Tonight is the night. Make sure he doesn't survive." Faced with the evidence, Sunita finally broke down. She confessed to orchestrating her husband's murder. The students, too, were arrested and confessed, describing how Sunita had promised them rewards in exchange for the brutal killing. So what was the motive? Police believe Sunita was driven by a mix of greed and resentment. She wanted to take over her husband's assets and live life on her own terms. But instead of divorcing him, she chose the most extreme solution. In court, Sunita tried to downplay her role, but the evidence was overwhelming. She was charged with murder and conspiracy. The 3 students, though minors, were tried under the Juvenile Justice Act for their involvement. This case is a shocking reminder of how people in power can manipulate others, especially vulnerable young minds. It also raises questions about how domestic disputes can escalate to such horrifying extremes. What do you think drove Sunita to commit such a brutal act? Was it purely greed, Or was there something even darker at play? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this case as chilling as I did, subscribe for more real-life crime stories. Thanks for watching and stay safe out there.